Good evening. This week, we were celebrating the International Women's Day, and we extended that to a week. And what is exciting about this day that we celebrate is that this year, the theme was about being bold for change. We are celebrating the progress that we have made, but also pausing and strategizing and thinking about the future that we want our girls, our boys to grow into. As I speak right now, 62 million girls are not in school. As I speak now, 3 million girls will be subjected to female genital cutting. That is 3 girls every single minute. This is the 21st century, yet education is not a right for all. I fought for my education. That's why I'm sitting and standing here today sharing with you. My story is that of being bold, is that of being resilient, is that of being yearning for change for my life and that of the girls that are around the world. I was engaged when I was 5 years old. But let me just take you back. Think about your 12-year-old. Think about her being forced into female genital cutting. Think about her being married at the age of 13. Think about her having her own children, having a husband, and finding food to feed them. Think about that. I know most of you have daughters. If you don't have a daughter, you might have a granddaughter. If you don't have, you might have a cousin or somebody, even just a neighbor's girl that you are seeing every day going to school. I was supposed to have a family at the age of 12. But what made a difference in my life is I went to school. And when I went to school, I dreamed big. I dreamed about becoming a teacher. The female teachers that I met inspired me, and the women in this room are going to like this. They looked nice, they dressed nice, they had different dresses every day. Monday a different dress, Tuesday a different dress, Thursday a different dress. That's what I wanted to have. And they had high heel shoes. I had only 3 dresses that time. One for going to church on Sunday, one for going to school, and one for wearing at home. As far as I remember, I walked with my mother to the river every day to get water, to go to the bush to collect firewood. And when I talk about collecting firewood, it's not the one that you carry 2 sticks in your hand. It's carrying heavy load on your back, carrying water on your head. I took care of my little siblings. My day started at 5 in the morning. By the time I was going to school, I had finished sweeping the house, making breakfast. I had finished going to collect water from the river. I had finished making sure that my mom was taken care of and that my siblings were taken care of. And I walked 3 miles every day to school. I learned, and I really, really worked hard in school because school was a heaven for me. I actually had to do still the work of collecting firewood, but I collected with many girls, so it was okay. As I went to school, at the age of 12, it was really a decision time for my family that time in my life. I was supposed to get married. And to be married, I had to undergo the rite of passage, which is female genital cutting, to become a woman. At that time, I knew that if I go through this cut, I'm going to become a wife. And I didn't want that. I had to figure out at the age of 12 how to negotiate myself out of a deal that was made many years ago by my parents. I approached my father, which is something that is not common, and told him that I will only go through this cut if you let me go back to school. My father, because it's a stigma for him to have a girl who is not cut, because I was going to run away, and so long as I stayed uncut, no one was going to marry me. My father couldn't run away because he would not have a place to be with his friends in the bar, as drink and have, because he's be called the father of the uncut girl. He agreed. And yes, I went through female genital cutting. I had no idea what it is. I only knew that it is the rite of passage to becoming a woman. I bled after that. I fainted. I'm very lucky and fortunate to be standing here today because many girls do die because of that. We are supposed to naturally heal. There's no doctors that are brought in, and it takes 3 to 4, 5 months, depending on how many infections you got, to heal. My mother was a strong person, and she is my hero in my life. She did something that many women didn't do. She broke tradition too. She went and brought a nurse secretly, and we were healed in 3 weeks. In 2 weeks, I was going to school. My grandmother was sent to check if I was actually healed because they had never seen somebody who get healed so fast. And yes, she said a miracle happened. She can go to school. I went to school so determined to really become a teacher. I never wanted my sisters to go through what I went through. What we went through, we are told to be quiet, to be silent. You cannot share what happened to you. But deep inside me, I knew this was wrong. Yes, I continued my high school and finished high school. And when I finished high school, there were many men who had been going overseas. And that time, my age mates were all going to India, to the US, to Canada. And I thought, oh, I got curious too. I thought maybe I should also go there. There had never been a girl or a woman in my village who has left the village to the city, leave alone to dream about going to another country to study. I approached a man who was there who kept helping people get scholarships. And I told him, can you help me get a scholarship to go to America like other boys? I had done well in school, so I had the grades. And he told me, you have a husband. How are you going to go to school with a husband? I said, no, don't worry about the husband part. Just help me about this thing of going to school. And he went, and he came back, and I asked him, did you do? And then he went again, and he came back, and yes, he got me a scholarship. I had a full scholarship to attend college in the US and was really excited that my village was going to help me go there because I had seen them raise money to buy air ticket and passports and all of that preparation that you have for boys to go. So I thought there was going to be a celebration. I was surprised. Everybody said, why will we give this opportunity to a girl? This is a wasted opportunity. And they went, talked to the guy to tell him to stop, that scholarship, to change it, to go to a boy. But he was also very clever. He had found a scholarship to a woman's college. So a boy could not go there. I needed money, and I had to figure out how to bring these people to dance, look for money for me, and send me to America. I knew very well that in the society we have hierarchy, we have the elders. And there's one person, if he says yes to what I say, everybody around him will follow him. My name means dawn. And as long as I grew up, I always had my mother talks to this dawn to bring good news. She would say, the sunrise, the dawn, bring good news. So I thought, my name is actually good news. So I have to bring good news to this elder man to be able to take me to support me to go to school. I went to him before the sunrise. So when he gets up, the first thing he sees is the good news. And I told him, Dad, because everybody my father's age is my dad, can you support me to go to America to study? And he looked at me, and because I was bringing good news, he could not say no. He gave me a list of 16 more men, which I did every single morning. That time, the mothers came together, the men came together. Yes, they did dance, and they said they raised money. They sent me to America to go and study. I was just trying to get out of the village. I arrived, of course, in the US. There were a lot of culture shock from the amount of food that is on the table to the books and to the snow and to the huge shops and all of the above. But the whole world really got open for me. I grew up with no electricity, no running water, no paved roads, no internet, no newspapers, nothing. And all of a sudden, I could Google, and all of a sudden, anything I needed to know, it was at my fingertips. in my English class, my professor told us that we had to do research. I had never done a research paper. And she told me that I needed to do research. And I asked her, how do I do research? And she said, you have to come up with a topic. And I had no idea which topic. And she said, I will give you some ideas. She gives me a list of topics that I could study. And one of them was female genital cutting. And I said, oh, I know this one. You know, it is the rite of passage. Actually, it's the thing that makes you a woman. This one I know. Yes, I was shocked. And what I learned reading about what happened to you on paper, knowing that it's against the law in my own country, knowing that what I was feeling deep inside is actually because of what was happening. It was as a result of the cut. Knowing that as a child, I had a right to go to school. You try to figure out, does this only belong to the people in the city, or does it belong to everyone? I am told it's actually a human rights violation, and I'm told that it's what makes you, it's what degrades women in the world. And I got angry. Every time I went home, girls were still getting cut. Every day they were being mutilated. And I told myself, I do not want this to ever happen to females, to girls in my village. I returned back and started a school for girls. As I was studying, I thought I would start with 10 girls because I didn't have money, and I thought it's easy to start with 10. The day I arrived to do enrollment, 100 girls showed up. Those girls, yes, my dream of 10 became 30. I met girls that people were telling me, this one is going to be cut, this one is going to be married, the best thing that could happen to her is to have a husband. I met children that were in need. I took 30 girls that day, and after I gave them food, after I gave them, the school is boarding school, after I gave them a teacher who tells them that marriage is not the thing that defines you, but it's what you're dreaming, whatever you are dreaming, you can actually achieve. After I told the parents that every girl who comes to my school will never be subjected to female genital cutting, that they will not be married, change happened in my community. Today, as I speak, 26 of them are graduating from high school. "26 of them are going to university. 26 of them are dreaming big. They want to be lawyers, they want to be doctors, they want to be pilots, they want to be accountants, they want to just change the world, they want to be presidents." And I sit back and I say, if you really, truly want to change what the face of Africa, the face of my community, the injustices that are happening, it's about investing in these girls, because that is the future. Tomorrow, yes, they are going to be pilots, the best pilots. They are going to be lawyers, the best lawyers. They are going to be in politics. They are going to be the change makers in my society. That is why I'm so invested in what I'm doing. Now you are wondering, why am I telling the cricketers this story? You know, the whole audience of players and fans, and you're thinking, how is that related to me? Yes, it's about team players. It's about those who stand on the side and cheer the players. It's about each one of us playing a part in making that game a great game. I want to thank the amazing work, people that have done an amazing job. You've seen the women that have come together. That is my team that is helping me change the face of Africa. I want to thank you because we cannot do this without men. And I want to thank David for being so bold, for believing in me and my story and that of my girls, for stepping up and not just listening and sitting down, but actually acting. Thank you for that, and thank you for bringing me here. As I finish, I want to challenge each one of you here. I want to challenge each one of you to think about, what am I here for? What is my purpose on earth? Maybe you have already accomplished it. But I have to tell you, until that last day, we've never achieved. We will always be pushing ourselves to the next level. So challenge yourself. What are you here for? My purpose is to make others better. And I hope that yours is the same, because that's what we are here for. It's about helping the people next to you. It's about making our world better. We need to stop hearing about violence against women. We need to stop hearing women are few in politics. We need to hear women are changing the world. And we need all of us to be in that team that makes the world a better future. Thank you very much.